The ROI myth. Now, this is a key component for some value propositions, but let me tell you something, it is completely overused today. And when you use it, you may be missing the real customer needs and issues. Back after 9/11, and in the last several years, marketers who are desperate to get their products sold in a tough economic climate create killer value propositions or value propositions focusing on ROI. These are value propositions that emphasize returns, profits, or savings to the exclusion of just about everything else. But like I shared with you before in the previous example about, we sell people, process, and technology, this has created a wave of Me Too marketing that seems to have everyone claiming ROI benefits. Here's a dramatic example of that. Not too long ago, I was on a trip in the Los Angeles area, and I was in my rental car heading towards a client. There's a company there called California Steel Buildings, and they advertised how you really needed to put up a steel storage building outside your factory or plant to hold overflow materials. And if you did it, it would increase the ROI and profit of your company. It was one of these fantastic moments where, as a consultant or a teacher, I sat there and I laughed and I said, this is exactly the example I need to share. And I shared it the next day in a workshop with 35 different folks. Seriously, put up a steel shed and you'll be rolling in dough? Oh, please. Take a look around you, and maybe at yourself, and ask yourself, do people really buy our product because we reduce costs 5% or 10%? And do you build a value proposition and offer that and then force your sales force to try and figure out some way your product actually does it? That puts them in a very difficult position. And again, unfortunately, this may be missing your customers' real needs and their real buying triggers completely. I'll give you another example. We worked with a company in the Midwest that sold services to one of the toughest customer bases out there, doctors. Doctors had a tendency in this particular market not to pay attention to any of the vendors. But who they did listen to is other doctors. One of the things this company did is they handled their insurance and their business and their claims. They used a lot of technology, but they used a lot of people as well to do that. And almost in every client situation they went into, in the first year, they were able to help those doctors, this physician practice group that they were engaged with, collect 20-30% more money on the same volume of patients because they were able to navigate the complex billing rules and reimbursement rules of insurance companies better than just about anybody else. So when I asked them, what's your killer value proposition? They said, well, we save people money, we make people more money. They definitely said that was what the physicians I interviewed would emphasize. So we went out and interviewed about 10 physician clients of theirs. Guess how many of them talked about money or ROI? None. They talked about peace of mind. They talked about the fact that it reduced their administrative headaches to work with this particular company. They talked about the fact that it made their lives easier and better and things happened faster. One of this company's competitors used to drop off stacks of medical charts to the doctors and say, you didn't dictate such and such a section. The doctor needs to redictate. Look, doctors are incredibly pressed for time and they have tons of paperwork. The last thing they want to do is go look at patients from 3 months ago and remember these things and redictate this stuff. What these physicians cared about is getting a monkey off their back, getting administrative headaches out of their way and getting on with the business of medicine and caring for patients. For whatever reason, I seem to run into physicians quite a bit. I sat next to a cardiologist on a plane trip out to San Francisco not that long ago. And during that trip, on his own, he was complaining about the fact that I got into medicine to work with patients and I spend most of my time on paperwork. Okay, maybe not most of his time, but lots of his time. Enough that he sat next to someone he didn't know and complained. So, are your customers like that? Are you emphasizing ROI? Here's a diagnostic question for you. What other assets or unique strengths do you deliver with your product or service that you're not even talking about, that might even be scaring your potential customers away from you. Don't be fooled into thinking that ROI and profit is the answer to everything. Especially in a time of economic turmoil and panic and fear, people respond to peace of mind, guarantees, insurance, being validated, being comforted. There's all sorts of things they respond to. In business, ask yourself, what are the things our clients are responding to? And then go ask your clients the exact same question. You will be shocked at the answer.